Aula 17, básico, término de prepositions e reading passage, Why am I so tired? Hello everyone.
Hi, teacher.
How are you, Regina? I'm very well, and you?
I'm fine, and you?
Good to know. I'm good. Is it cold down there?
No, it's
Not
normal.
today? Okay.
Not today.
Okay. Hello, DSC.
Hello.
Oh, today your microphone is working. Good to hear your voice.
Nice. Tomorrow, I don't know what happened in the start of our class. I can hear you, but you cannot hear me.
Yesterday, you mean? Yes.
It's
No,
everything okay?
Yeah, very good. Hello, Taina. How are you?
Hello, teacher. I'm fine, and you?
I'm very well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Marcia. Hello.
Hello, teacher. How are you?
I'm good. And you?
Not good.
What's the problem today?
No problem.
Okay. Well, if you have no problem, so it's okay.
Yes, no problem.
All right. Well, let's try to finish what we were talking about yesterday so we can finish this material, okay? So without any further talking, let me share my screen and I'm going to explain you something very important. Yesterday, I was telling you that there is a preposition in English that is like. You can say, but like is not a verb. Yes, there is a verb. I, for example, like pasta. In this case, it's the verb, okay? But when I say, for instance, you look like your mother. In this case, like is a preposition. It's not the verb. The idea is you have the same appearance. You're similar to. Understand? But the problem is that many people confuse like and as when used as a preposition. Okay? What is the difference? I can say, for example, she, let's not say she, let's say he. He eats like a pig. Can you understand the sentence?
Yes.
That means his manners of eating are terrible. Okay? It's disgusting. He eats like a pig, but he's not a pig. Understand? That is only a comparison. That means in a similar way to a pig. Okay? But when if I say he eats as a pig, that's not possible. That is not possible because he is a person, not a pig. Understand? The idea, the translation is the same. But I cannot say he eats as a pig. Okay? Because he's not a pig. So I will give you another example, maybe trying to use both of them in the same sentence to see if you can see the difference. I am an engineer. Right?
Right.
I don't work, okay, as an engineer. I work as a teacher. You see, it's not like I use as because I am an engineer, but I don't work as an engineer. I work as a teacher. That means I am a teacher. Okay?
Okay.
Yes.
All right? I could also say, for example, she works as a teacher, but she earns like a beggar. That's a terrible example, but it's possible. She works as a teacher. That means she is a teacher. But the salary, oh, very bad. It's like a beggar. Do you know what's a beggar?
No.
No.
A beggar is a person who sits on the streets asking,
Unless?
yes, for money. What's the difference between homeless and beggar? A homeless is because he doesn't have a home. Maybe he collects cans, paper. He's not a beggar. A beggar doesn't do any kind of work. A beggar only sits there. Have you got some change to spare? You got some change to spare? Buongiorno, buongiorno, buonasera. Just asking for money. They only want money. They don't want to work. Understand? That's a beggar. Okay?
Okay.
So she works as a teacher, but the salary, oh, like a beggar. But she's not a beggar. Understand the idea?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So pay attention to the second rule. Instead of using like as a preposition, you use as if, or as though, or the way. It's the same. When following a comparison with a subject and a verb. For example, in the previous example, we had you look like your mother, and finish the sentence, right?
Right.
I don't use after like the subject and a verb, but after as if, as though, or the way, I need to use here. If you observe, I have you look the way your mother does. So I need a subject plus a verb, or it's not correct. Understand? Okay? Look at the second example. That is also incorrect. Do like I ask. You see, I have here subject plus verb. I and ask. Right? So in this case, it's not possible to use like. As I told you, like as a preposition is never followed by a subject and a verb. So you have to say, do as I ask. Or do as I ask. Understand? In this case, it's perfect. It's correct. Okay? The same case is the other one. You look like you are angry. You see, it's not possible to have a subject and a verb after like. So if I want to say this, I have to say, you look as if, or as though, You are angry. That's correct. Now, you can say, teacher, this is complicated. Yes,
Yeah.
I agree. Just for you to have an idea, even native speakers of English, some speakers and writers, to avoid embarrassment, they use as, but when they want to say like. The following sentences here, I got in a grammar book, and they are not correct. They are considered as any other English words. Pay attention. They are considered as any other English word. Where is the verb? You see, there is no verb. If there is no verb, it's not correct. The correct is, they are considered as any other English words. I have here the subject and I have here the verb. Now it's correct. Or you can invert and use, they are considered to be like, the same idea. Both sentences have the same idea, but observe here, no verb after like. They are considered like any other English words. Okay? So the idea is, like means similar to or similarly to. Not a real, like my son swims like a fish, but he's not a fish, but he swims like a fish, very, very well. That's the idea, understand? And as, remember to pronounce Z, as, or if you say as, it's your ass, your buttocks, okay? That's a completely different word. As means in the same manner that. That's why I told you, I'm an engineer, but I don't work as an engineer. I work as a teacher in the same manner that a teacher. Okay? So what you need to remember is, do not use as unless there is a verb. So if you don't have a verb, don't use as. For example, I, as most people. The idea was to say, eu, como a maioria das pessoas, try to use good grammar. But it's wrong, because I don't have a verb here. See, it would be necessary to have a verb. Like, as most people do, that would be okay, but I don't have it, so it's wrong. In this case, I could say, I, like most people, try to use good grammar. That's correct. Or, I, as most people do, try to use good grammar, especially in my classes, because I want you to learn what is correct. I want you to communicate well, to communicate correctly. Not to talk like many Brazilians say, é para mim fazer, nós fumo, nós voltemos. Okay, no, this is bad Portuguese. I don't want you to speak English like this. Okay? So just to finalize this part, you see the rule distinguish like and as if, as though. They are all the same here. As if, as though. And the way is increasingly ignored. That means many Americans, Canadians, English people ignore this and they use incorrectly. But the English purists, they still insist upon the use of it. Okay?
Okay.
Now, I hope you understood this. The next part is interesting because when you use should plus have plus a verb in the past participle. When you listen to a native speaker speaking, he says, he should have done it, should have done it, should have done it. You're talking about something that was necessary to be done in the past. But I don't know why. Brazilians, I think they understand, you should have done it. And then they write, I should have done it. This construction, this does not exist, okay? It's not should have done it. Should have done it, not should have done it, okay?
Okay.
This is just a problem of misunderstanding, okay? I think Brazilians, when they listen, I should have done it, they think should have done. No. Should have done. Now, to finish, we have here couple of, out, of, inside, of, okay? Observe the pronunciation. If I have OFF, the pronunciation is off.
Off.
Yes, like turn off the lights. But if I have only OF, the pronunciation is of. That's why people confuse. He should have, should have, of. So I should have done it. No, they confuse because of the V sound, okay?
Okay.
Be careful with all these prepositions that involve off and of. Couple of, okay? Turn off, get off. So that's double F, okay? Now, another interesting but polarizing point is the use of the preposition from when I want to say different than. Many people use, you are different than I am. She's different than her mother is. You see, this is not, let's say, officially correct. If you have to do a test, this is not acceptable. The correct is, you are different from me. You are different from your sister. Okay? So when you use you are different than I am, it's polarizing. That means there is a lot of controversy. But the other one, unchallengeable, that means no controversy. That's the perfect English, different from. Okay, like, the pizza here is different from the pizza in Brazil. In Brazil, they put a lot of toppings. Here, no, they only put a little cheese, a little basil, and tomato sauce. Only this, okay? So it's different from the pizza in Brazil, all right? And I have already told you, I'm just reminding you to use into rather than in every time you want to express motion, movement, okay? If you use in, it's not correct. For example, I swam in the pool, that's okay. In the lake, that's okay. In the river, that's fine. Because there is no movement. You're talking about swimming. But when you say, I walked in the house with the idea of getting inside of the house, the correct would be into the house. She got into the car and left. I looked into that matter because there is a movement. Okay, I will get the matter and I will look into that matter. The verb to dive, understand the verb to dive?
Oh,
To dive.
I don't know.
Okay, to dive means to go under the water with a tank or a snorkel. You know, when you go under the water to see the fish, okay, so you cannot say, I dived in the water, because if you dive, you go into the water, understand? It's not like swimming. Swimming, it's on the surface, but diving, no, you have to go into the water. So it's not correct to say, I dived in the water, okay?
Okay.
You can see movie, people put the goggles, they put the oxygen tank, they put the mask, and then they jump or they dive into the water, okay? Not in the water. When I ask you to throw something, like, please don't throw it on the streets, throw it in the trash. No, it's not correct to throw something. Like, sometimes I am walking on the street and I have a piece of paper. Oh, you see, I have a piece of paper. It's in my pocket. Why? I don't throw paper on the street. I keep it in my pocket and I throw it into a trash, or in my house, into a trash, not on the street, okay? This is not good. So throw it into the trash, not in the trash. Understand this? So remember, every time you have a movement, a motion, the preposition in is not the best. The correct is into. Okay?
Okay.
Good. Well, the next part, you have a lot of exercises. What I would like you to do, I would like you to try to do these and send to me by email. Everybody knows my email? I send you email every week. Okay, so send it to me by email. Why? Because we are talking about giving a kind of a certificate at the end of each 4-week program, understand? And then I need to know if you understand or not. So I will correct this exercise and evaluate you if you understood what we studied or not, okay? So this is a very good exercise to evaluate you. One is to complete with the correct tense of the verb. The other is complete with the prepositions according to the situation. And the other exercise is to ask questions using the question words we talked about. For example, they go to the club every Saturday. I want to know who. So I simply start with who. And if you remember, who is always considered third person singular. So I have to say, who goes to the club every Saturday? That's the perfect question. Who goes, not who go, because who is third person singular. You can't forget this. Who, okay? And what are third person singular. Always, okay? Now, if I want to know when, okay, that's different. The question is not about the subject. Then I say, when I look at the verb, go, is it in the present or in the past?
Present.
Very good. So what is the auxiliary verb of the present that I use to ask questions or make negative sentences?
Do.
Do. So when do they go to the club? And the answer is every Saturday, right? I did one for you, the others you can do, okay? Oh, there are many here. Today I want to talk about something. Oh, why am I so tired? This is a question for everyone. usually, do you sleep well at night or do you have trouble sleeping, Tainá?
I'm sleeping well.
That's good. How about you, Regina?
I'm sleeping well, teacher.
It's good when you have no problems, huh? You sleep like...
Sometimes,
Okay,
sometimes
okay, let me ask you. You sleep like an angel or as an angel? What is the correct?
like an angel.
Very good. So that means you're not an angel, huh? You are a bad girl. Very good. Oh, teacher, I sleep like an angel, okay? Dirce, how about you? Do you sleep well or sometimes no?
I sleep well.
Oh, that's so
Every
nice.
night, everything okay.
Oh, fantastic. That's my dream. How about you, Marcia?
Very well.
Oh, very well.
Yes, because it's
But
very cold.
but my
Okay.
dreams no very well.
Your dreams are not very good, yes?
No, no.
But do you have bad dreams sometimes?
Yes.
How do you call a bad dream? Do you know there's a
Oh,
name?
um,
A nightmare.
nightmare.
Yeah. Oh, I wrote.
Nightmare.
Yes. Yeah, I don't have nightmares anymore, okay? But I don't
Oh.
sleep well, okay? I think my mind keeps processing all the information I prepare, the class, and then when I go to sleep, my mind doesn't turn off, understand? Like
Yes.
last night, I stopped the classes at 2 o'clock in the morning, our time
Wow.
here. It was 5 o'clock this morning, I was awake. Okay? So I have some trouble sleeping. Not easy for me to sleep.
Oh,
So, but I'm not tired, I'm fine, okay? I slept a little bit in the afternoon, so I'm fine. So, what is this lesson? About this, why am I so tired? We are going to discover all the problems that people have to sleep. You see? This is one of the things that people do when they can't sleep. Can you describe what you see in the picture? What is the girl trying to do?
she is
Counting?
counting sheep.
Yes,
Sheep.
very sheep. Very good. Okay, in the singular because sheep has no plural. So,
Yes.
okay, that's why I could not write there. Oh, she is counting
Counting.
sheep in order to sleep. I tried to do this one day. People told me, why don't you count sheep? But when I got to 1,700,546 sheep, I was too tired to count, understand? And I slept because I was too tired.
Pray, teacher, pray. When you go to bed, you
I
pray.
pray every night
Yeah.
when I go to bed, and I pray every morning. Yes, I always say my prayers. Yes, I pray every night. Every night I
Okay.
thank the Lord for the day and for everything. And when I wake up, before I get out of bed, I pray again. So,
Then,
I don't know. I don't know. But what's the idea? I want you to follow this time, okay? I'm going to play the passage for you. I want you to listen and follow because it's a little long. If you don't follow, probably you're going to fall asleep because everybody here sleeps very well. So I don't want you to fall asleep in my class, okay? So let me, okay. Oh my gosh, where are log in. Okay, log in. Why am I so tired? Why am I so tired? You're going to see all the different problems that people have and they can't sleep at night, okay?
Yes.
So just a moment, I needed to stop sharing for 1 second, and then I will share again because it's necessary to click a button here. Okay, now it's possible. Oh, can you see the article? Imagine a
Yes.
girl named Kathy. Okay, now listen to this and try to follow, especially the pronunciation of words that you are not familiar with. Try to listen and understand, all right? And try not to sleep. That's the most important.
Why Am I So Tired? By Readworks. Imagine a girl named Katie. It is nighttime, and she plops into bed exhausted. Her first day in the new neighborhood has been stressful for her. There was the work of unpacking. There were the curious stares from the neighbors. Would she make friends? Would this new place ever feel like home? Now she just needs to get some sleep. But tomorrow would be worse. It is the first day of school. She turns out the light, punches the pillow into a comfortable shape, and stares at the wall, and stares, and stares. Oh no, not again, she thinks to herself. She turns over on her back and looks at her clock. The lighted dial of her clock shows midnight. The next time she looks, it is 1 a.m., then 2 a.m. Perfect. I'll certainly make an impression on the kids in the lunchroom tomorrow, especially if I fall asleep face down in my soup. I bet they haven't seen that before. Katie has a sleep disorder called insomnia. According to the United States National Institutes of Health, about 50 to 70 million Americans have sleep disorders that interrupt their sleep. Sleep disorders affect people in every age group. Here's a look at some of the most common sleep disorders. Insomnia. Eyes wide open. People with insomnia have trouble falling asleep and staying asleep. They are often grouchy the next morning and can't concentrate. Poor sleep habits, such as irregular bedtimes and waking times, staying late at a party, watching TV, being on the internet endlessly, and using a computer right before bed, can cause insomnia. Stress is often the main cause of insomnia. You may have had mild insomnia the night before a big test. Like Katie, you probably have had some sleepless nights when something stressful was going on in your life, such as moving or trouble at home. This kind of insomnia usually goes away when the event that causes the stress is over. Changing your habits or talking with someone about your problems may help to cure insomnia. Changing your habits or talking with someone about your problems may help to cure insomnia. In some cases, a doctor can recommend medication to help you get to sleep. Restless leg syndrome. If you have restless leg syndrome, RLS, your legs feel like they're tingling or aching when you lie down in bed. The only way to stop the unpleasant feeling is to get up and move around. That keeps you from falling asleep, or wakes you up if you were already asleep. RLS may be inherited, or it may occur because of nerve damage in the legs. Different kinds of therapies can help to control RLS. Certain medicines may also help relieve RLS. Sleep apnea. Sleep apnea is a breathing disorder in which you actually stop breathing at times during sleep. It usually happens when your windpipe is blocked and air can't get through. your brain wakes you just enough to signal you to breathe. These pauses may happen from 20 times a night to several hundred times a night. You're sleepy during the day because you didn't get enough sleep, but you don't remember waking up. One common cause of sleep apnea in adults is obesity. Losing weight often helps a lot. Other people with sleep apnea can avoid the problem by sleeping on their sides. Children with sleep apnea can often be helped by having their tonsils or adenoids removed. Sleepwalking and night terrors. Most kids outgrow these two disorders by the age of 12. If you or someone in your family sleepwalks, move things that are easy to trip over. Make sure windows and doors to the outside are locked. It is also best to put gates up by staircases. You don't need to wake up a person who is sleepwalking. Just lead him or her back to bed. However, if you need to wake up a sleepwalker, it is okay to do so. Someone who has night terrors wakes up screaming. Then usually about 10 to 20 minutes later, he or she goes back to sleep. Sometimes a few minutes of quiet talk may help to calm the person back to sleep. Someone who experiences night terrors often doesn't remember the incident in the morning. Sleep rhythms. This isn't a disorder, but it is important. People in different age groups have different sleep rhythms. Kids in elementary school need 9 to 12 hours of sleep each night. This means kids usually go to bed sometime between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. For many preteens and teens, they may not be ready to go to bed until around 11 p.m. Researchers have found that a teenager's brain works on a different schedule. One school district in Minnesota changed the starting time of the high school from 7:20 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. The teachers found that the students were then ready to learn in their first period class. Many students' grades went up. Sleep gives the brain time to repair nerve connections and to store information. When you're not getting enough sleep, you can lose your good judgment. Poor sleep also makes it harder to learn new things. Don't let a sleep disorder rob you of your Z time. How to get enough Z's. Here are some tips for getting to sleep and staying asleep. Avoid caffeine within 4 to 6 hours of bedtime. That means staying away from sodas and coffee. Exercise daily, but avoid strenuous exercise within 6 hours of bedtime. Keep your bed for sleeping. Don't do homework on it. If you can't fall asleep, leave your bedroom and go somewhere else to read. Go back to bed when you are relaxed and sleepy. Get up at about the same time on weekdays and on weekends. If you nap, do it before 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and don't sleep for more than an hour. Get into bright light quickly in the morning, but avoid it in the evening. Wind down before going to bed. Avoid heavy reading, studying, and computer games within an hour of going to bed.
How was it? Difficult, easy, possible to understand? Regina, Tainá, Márcia, Dirce, Mário, how was it? Okay?
Longer.
Yeah, that's why. Did you sleep there or no?
No.
Oh, okay, good, good. Okay, but did you understand?
Yes,
Yes.
the most common disorder is sleep disorders.
Yes, exactly. The most common sleep disorders. Okay. It's interesting because the names in Portuguese are very similar to English, okay, especially when we talk about diseases or disorders, okay? But anyway, what was the problem with Katie, the girl that was mentioned at the beginning of the story? What is her problem? What does she suffer from? I'm showing you Katie part. So if you don't remember, you can look. What is the problem? Is it the restless leg disorder? Is it apnea? What? What is the problem? It's right in front of you. You can look at your computer. What is the problem with Katie?
Insomnia.
Insomnia.
Yes.
Okay, it's right here. Katie has a sleep disorder called insomnia. Okay?
Yes.
The only difference between English and Portuguese is that we have an extra N there. M.
And
Insomnia. Okay?
okay.
All right? And in her case, her insomnia is a consequence of what? All her stress. Exactly. She moved to a new place, a new house, a new neighborhood. Tomorrow she's going to have a new school, understand? And then her mind is processing all this information, and then she can't sleep. Okay? And you see, in the United States, there are about 50 to 70 million Americans that suffer from insomnia. Okay? So when you have insomnia, you keep the eyes wide open. You can't close your eyes, understand? It's dark, but you can't. Okay? And here you have some of the poor sleep habits. For example, kids that stay in front of a computer playing games for a long time, they can't sleep after that. Okay? Or if you are very stressed because of a problem, you can't sleep. Okay, so what they suggest, changing your habits or talking with someone about your problems or ask for a doctor to give you some medicine to help you get to sleep because it's not possible to suffer from insomnia every night. We need the sleep, okay? What about the second problem here, restless leg syndrome? Were you familiar with these? Do you know anyone that has this kind of problem or you have never heard of this?
No.
Regina, you were not familiar. Marcia, have you heard about these?
Not familiar.
No.
Tainá?
No.
This?
For me too, not familiar.
Yes, this is a problem not as common as insomnia, but the people suffer from it. It is a problem. There are even medications for this. What happens is when you lie down in bed to sleep, your legs feel like they're tingling, you know, like, or they're aching. Only when you lie down. And then what happens? The people have to get out of the bed and walk around to decrease the tingling or to decrease the pain. But that happens many times during the night. And then if the people have to walk around, they don't sleep. Understand? The other problem is apnea. Do you know anyone that suffers from apnea?
Yes, I know. My
Marcia?
Yes,
friend,
my niece. The other
Your niece?
niece. Yes.
Not this one that is in your house.
Yes. The other.
Okay. Who suffers from apnea, Regina?
my friend, he is use um aparelho,
A device.
a device for sleeping.
Okay. Because of apnea. Yes?
Yeah.
Tainá, do you know anyone that suffers from apnea?
I think not, teacher.
No?
No.
Okay. Doesn't your father suffer from apnea?
My father?
Yeah. That's when you are trying to sleep, but you can't breathe.
Yes.
Your
No,
nose is blocked.
my sister, but he's not
Ah.
sleeping anymore here.
Your sister, she's not sleeping anymore there? She moved
No.
out?
The most days he is sleeping in the fiance.
Ah, most days she sleep at her fiance's house.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Well, sleeping with the fiance, she's not going to have apnea because probably she's not going to sleep.
It doesn't
That's
sleep
good.
more.
Good for him.
Yes. Then it's good. Okay. But apnea is when you can't breathe, you know, like your nose, the pipes here, they get blocked. And then you can't breathe. And then what happens? Your brain wakes you up because if you don't breathe, you die. Understand?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
And some people have these like 20 times a night, but there are people that have these more than 100 times a night. So in this case, it's impossible to sleep. Okay? And then to finish, we have sleepwalking and night terrors. Okay? Most of these disorders usually disappear by the age of 12, especially the night terrors. That's why many children, they wake up crying or screaming, okay? But they don't remember what the problem is, okay? But the sleepwalking, do you know anyone that suffers from this problem?
Yes,
No.
my sister,
Yes?
when she was child, before
Uh-huh.
12, she was
A
sleepwalking.
sleepwalker.
Yeah,
No, she was a sleepwalker.
walker. Yeah.
Yeah, she suffered from sleepwalking, understand? The disease is called sleepwalking, but the person is a sleepwalker.
Okay.
But today, no, today she's normal.
No. Before 12, only before 12.
Yes, yes. Usually this disappears, okay? Does anyone else know anyone who has this kind of problem or no? Tainá, Márcia,
No.
Regina? No.
No.
And the last but not least is called sleep rhythms. What happens here?
What is it?
Yeah, this is not really a disorder. This is not a problem, okay? But the number of hours that a person needs to sleep per night varies from age to age. Understand?
Yes.
Like if you are from like 1 to like 10, 11 years, you need more hours of sleep, not only 8 hours as we usually say. You need from 9 to 12 hours.
Wow.
Mm,
I need only 5 hours.
Yes, you are more than 12 years old, I think, right, Marcia? Yes, as we get older, this rhythm decreases. We need less hours. As I told you this morning, I went to sleep. It was past 5 o'clock in the morning. At 10 o'clock, I was up. Okay? So that's 5 hours too. All right? And it's interesting to observe this because based on these, certain schools in the United States, they changed the starting time. Because when you are a teenager from 13 to 19, usually you go to sleep late.
yes.
And they had
My
to
daughter.
get... Yes? Yes. And then what happened? They had to go to school at the same time of the younger kids. But they were sleepy. So they changed this school time from 7:20 to 8:30, and the results were excellent. Understand?
Yeah.
All the students started learning better, getting better grades because they just postponed the class 1 hour so they could sleep 1 hour more. Yes, and it's the same case here in Europe. If you are from 1 to 12, your school starts at 7:30. If you are 13 or more, your school starts at 8:30. Understand? So there is a difference of 1 hour. Okay? Well, and here you have some tips how to get enough Z's. Okay? Avoid caffeine, exercise, but don't exercise too much before going to bed. Keep your bed for sleeping. Don't use your bed to discuss your problems or do your homework. If you can't fall asleep, leave your bedroom, go somewhere else to read. Then you only go back when you are relaxed and sleepy. Try to get up at the same time. You see, this is to keep a good rhythm. If you nap in the afternoon, do it before 3 o'clock, but don't sleep for more than an hour. If you sleep for more than an hour in the afternoon, you're not going to sleep at night. Okay?
Yes.
And also they say get into bright light quickly. Like you get up, open the windows, let your eyes see the light. But in the evening is the opposite. Avoid bright lights, okay? And try to relax, wind down before going to bed. Avoid reading 2-3 hours, studying 2-3 hours, or computer games before going to bed, or your mind is not going to stop thinking about that, okay? So, what I want you to do, any question about this?
No.
Excellent. Please, as a final evaluation of these 4 weeks, because this is the end of our last week of August, I would like you to send me the exercises and the answers for the reading comprehension that you have here.
Okay.
By email. I will correct, evaluate you, and send you back. All right?
All the
Try to-
exercise I made in the notebook.
So you
I
just
wrote.
copy. Yeah, you copy, paste in an email. You made in a notebook, not in a computer.
No, notebook.
So what you can do is you just
Take a picture and send.
Oh my gosh, you're being
Take a picture. Take a picture.
You're so lazy. I was going to say, just write the answers, like exercise number 1. It's not necessary to copy. Just write the answers, understand? Okay? And these one, for example, the reading comprehension, you can, for example, number 1, B, number 2, A, number 3, D. Only the answer. Okay?
Okay.
It's not necessary to copy everything. All right?
The time.
Yes, I know. Yes, I know it takes time because I prepared the material. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it takes a long time.
Oh, okay.
Now, anyway, try to do it before Friday, please. Okay?
Okay.
Any day before Friday, all right?
Oh, teacher.
Okay.
Can I send you Sunday?
Yes. But I'm not going to correct on Sunday. I'll correct on Monday, okay?
Yes, on Monday.
Okay, no problem. Sunday, I'm going to sleep late. Bye-bye.
Yes.
See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Okay?
Bye.
Tomorrow
Bye.
we'll start the new material. Okay? Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Okay. Thank you,
Bye, everybody.
teacher.
Bye bye. Bye, Tainá.